Hello. I've just bought some lights. I'm going to open them up and see what happens. Package is in quite good condition. So let's open it up. Slightly bashed on this side. Delivery notes and case. Handles on both sides, big wheels, and skis on the bottom. Feels fairly cheap material. So let's look inside. Right, we have 1, 2, 3 redhead bases, and we have 3 lamps. We also have 1, 2, 3 sets of barn doors. Under the Velcro we have 1, 2, 3 steps. Okay, it's a reasonable space and there are clips inside. Right, let's try them in action. As you can see, they're quite bright. Going to dial down now to a lower aperture. Close the... Okay, as you can see, colour temperature is set for indoors, which is why it's a bit yellow. Set it to 32. Go. As you can see, a little bit blue outside. Right. Construction wise, it's not so bad. The stand itself it's very thin. If you're going to have it the full 2 metre stretch, I would say try to avoid having it anywhere where anyone walks, or if you have to, use sandbags. Definitely use sandbags. There we go. It's quite stiff. The others weren't quite so stiff. Buttons seem fairly reasonable. As you can see, it's a little bit wobbly, and that's the full height. Okay, so 2 meters, not too bad. Okay, and as you can see, there's a little bit of give. It's a little bit wobbly. As I say, sandbags. Try and avoid full 2 meters if you can. Alright. Here is the redhead base, as people call it. I call it the light. As you can see, there's not a lot to it really. It's just a small device with a small wheel inside for turning, and that allows you to focus flood spot. Right. Cable is very long, which is very useful. It says 4.8 meters. I'm certainly not in a position to disagree with that. The switch. Unfortunately, this is fairly flimsy plastic, and on this light over here, which I've got set up, there is actually a hole been made by the plug. A big dent in it is broken. As you can see, there's a small piece of bakelite there, or whatever it actually is. Okay. So otherwise, you've got your focus ring, you've got your adjuster. This one is also quite stiff, also than the others, and that just slots on the top, but you have to loosen it first. Right, slight damaging around the edges here. I noticed that on all of them. I'm not sure what that is. But it looks like it's supposed to be there, so I'm not going to play with it. It's just insulation for the cable, so obviously this will get quite hot. Right. It was also supplied with the halogen lamps. The XX 220 800 watt. Don't touch them with bare hands. It says if you do, clean them with methylated spirits. It's best not to ever touch them if you can avoid it. So your standard 800 watt lamp, and you stick it in the left, push it in, and then it slots into the right, like so. That's all there is to it. Looks like this needs a tighten. I'll sort that out. Okay. Now we have the protective mesh and the lamp itself, the followers. If you wish to, you can remove this screw, a bit more. You can remove that if you need to. Like that, it's got 2 little loops on there, they hook over at the top, like so. It swings underneath, and then you just tighten it there. Stops it from falling off. Okay, barn doors. Yeah, that is quite loose. Okay, the others weren't. So I will open them up. They move quite smoothly, and plug it in. I recommend using circuit breakers for safety reasons, which I'm currently not doing now. Make sure it's off, plug it in, retire to a safe distance, and there we go. As you can see, they seem to work fine. There's an ever so slight burning smell, which I suspect is like the new lamp smell, if you like. Okay, they take a while to cool down, so we will see how it works. Let me just brighten up the aperture again and change the colour temperature back. They generate quite a lot of heat. That's one thing I've noticed. My arm's quite warm now. So, right, leave it for a while and then we'll see just how well it dismantles. Okay, it's about 10 minutes later and I'm taking everything down. I would say they seem to get hotter than I expected, but then that could just be a Redhead thing. And they've cooled down. Within 10 minutes they were plenty cold enough to touch. So I'll put the stands away. As you can see, these ones aren't quite as stiff as the other. They're coated in gloss black and they're unsprung. If that makes a difference to anyone. But obviously, with them being cheap lights, that's what you'd expect really. There's a small tie inside so that you can velcro them in, which is what I'm going to do now. Velcro. I'll just stop them from flapping about. Interestingly though, the straps aren't big enough. So when I'm trying to attach the Velcro, it's not happening. The Velcro is too big. I think I'm going to loop it around like that. But yes, there's not enough Velcro, so when you're trying to attach it, the Velcro is way up there. It's alright, not a problem. I just won't bother using it. It might be useful at some later stage for a purpose I'm yet unable to work out. Okay. Base on top. And work out how to put these in, which is probably going to be at a slight angle. Like so. This is purely for stopping them from rattling around when they're shut, I would imagine, because they don't seem to be much practical use. Although for some reason I have three. I'm not sure why. I think it's just a spare maybe, or for adding extra things inside. I took it out somewhere or other. It should be noted that I also have a big flap there for putting filters. Okay, not too heavy to carry, and there is a set of sexy wheels. So there we have it. Hope you found this useful. Goodbye.